Hey, how is it going? It is KlaireeBerry, and I am here today to bring to you another Bitcoin, just all about Bitcoin. This is a birth chart video. We're going to use a little bit of tarot sprinkled in here and just go over this because the last video I did on this was probably over a year ago or so, and I've just learned so much since then, and I think we can do a better video. So welcome to the show. So of course, the basic thing we know about Capricorn, about Bitcoin is that it is Sun in Capricorn, and it's in the 10th house. So it makes the whole Capricorniness of Bitcoin even better, even more. Okay. So it's big goals, big, huge goals. Ideas, dreams, and there's a big, emphasis on the responsibility, authority, business, professional success, and it can be money success, obviously, as well. There's a there's a fairness element that comes through that you don't see with a lot of other cryptos that we've looked at. What is it? XRP being one of them that comes to mind. But yeah, there's this very powerful yet, do-gooder type of energy. Like, look at me, I'm going to get big, but in a way, I'm going to be fair with my power. And I love to see that. And that's part of Bitcoin's whole success here. So Sun and Capricorn in the 10th house, just extreme, success and recognition in life. Probable, likely, it's what it's all about here. When you look at the moon for Bitcoin, it is moon in Aries. And so you have this fiery leader, tendency even coming from the inner depths of what Bitcoin really is and is all about. So there's this independence, not afraid to go off on its own, not afraid to do anything really. And there's some kind of impulsive nature that I want you to remember, because we'll kind of talk about that later as well. But absolute leadership qualities here, bold, again, not afraid to strike out, do its own thing there. And with Mercury and Aquarius, you kind of have more of the same two themes we've already talked about. You have this kind of, I'm not surprised to get this. Pretty sure we got this last time too. So with Mercury and Aquarius, again, all of the ideas, all the planning, all the innovation, it stands on its own. It's very unconventional, obviously. And there's just, it's like you get a lot of results from a lot of hard work here that is going to come through. There's more of this truth-loving and beneficial for humanity, Aquarian energy here. But in the 10th house, it just makes it all the more smart, successful, and, I don't want to say authoritarian because that's got a negative connotation, but you know what I mean? Like having authority and being the best and being a leader and being successful. It's all right there, meshed up together in this beautiful package of what we have, of what Bitcoin really is about. So Bitcoin, more Aquarius energy when you look at its Venus. Okay, I lost the first card. Oh well, try to keep them separate here. Venus is in Aquarius in the 11th house. So very, very social, very independent. You get this rebellious nature. You've got almost like a magnetic, very shiny and attractive, like almost glamorous energy that attracts people and makes it fun, for people to get interested and to get into Bitcoin. So that's awesome. Very much well loved, very, 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 very popular. And again, popular for being different, being new, being an innovator. And we love that. So great aspects there. Mars is in Capricorn in the 9th house. And so you have this kind of really good, there's like this long-term energy. It's controlled in a way here with, again, Mars is in Capricorn. So the drive here is again, it's not making, even though it has some impulsivity coming through, it's driven in a very long-term way that's very bullish, for the success and what it's going to do. And it moves again in kind of like very controlled ways, very, structured. And it's got this like responsible aspect that kind of balances out that impulsive nature that we talked about with Moon in Aries. And it's good. It's really good, I think, for Bitcoin to have both of those types of qualities that do balance each other out, especially being such an innovator. That's why it's the first. That's why it's the best, is because because it's able to balance those two aspects. It's not any, too much of any one side, not too traditional, very innovative, but again, it's balanced out a little bit there. So Six of Swords, got some success, always moving here. And again, it moves in steady and balanced ways a lot of times, which helps it to be so, again, successful over time. It's not a fad energy burning off. It's got this stable Capricorn, gonna make it work, gonna make it, gonna be successful long term, which we love. So North Node also in the Aquarius in the 10th house. You see that the theme here, so much Aquarius energy, so much Capricorn, and so much 10th house energy. So awesome. This is like almost like an obsession with getting what it wants, an obsession with the success, yet you still have, again, that independent sort of mentality, I guess you could say, that kind of, again, just that it balances it out. And you got good social success. So with Sun, getting into some of the aspects here, we've alluded to, again, Sun conjunct Mars, both in Capricorn here, and that just highlights even more the leadership qualities, the taking on these challenges, will not back down, to adversity, and just so much power, power and happiness, and it is bringing love and light to the world here. I love these cards we're getting. It's just absolutely perfect. So again, never gives up, not gonna die. I saw somebody say, some comment when I talked about 2026 kind of being the end of a cycle, of a phase. And what I meant was this is gonna be maybe the end of this innovation phase for crypto. And that's when Uranus leaves Taurus. And he said, oh yeah, I see a lot of people talking about that. I think that's when crypto is gonna die, basically. I'm like, no, honey. You're misreading that one. This is all, you see how much long-term success we have here? You could just tell just by looking at it. This is not going to be a fad thing going away in a few years. No, not even close. Okay. So again, never gives up, takes on challenges, gets shit done, if you know what I mean. And again, it's almost like makes it look easy, has fun while it's achieving all this success. Does have kind of an aggressive nature here with Moon square Mars. And there's kind of that back to the macho, the king energy, that a little bit of ego coming through there, just so freaking powerful. And that can come through there with that Moon square Mars. We've also got Venus sextile Mars. So again, gets results. It's got this just, again, powerful and like a passionate sort of, I guess, aesthetic, you could say. Just full on, doesn't half-ass, not going to half-ass anything, does things completely, when it does it, and it just helps it. All this helps it to achieve any, I guess, goals it would have. And it's just like, it's so well loved. Again, very attractive. Everybody wants to, get in and be a part of it with that Venus sextile Mars. So passionate. People are attracted to that. So we also have Jupiter in Capricorn in the 10th house. Go figure, right? All about that long-term success. And we've got, this is like a lucky energy. And again, making it look easy, do ya? You know what I mean? Growth. This is, of course, success in work, professions, business, etc. Very much would have good luck and good success in being like an executive type, or again, some type of authority, which of course Bitcoin is, and according to the birth chart here, will remain. I don't see any signs, of anything that could ever get in the way here. So a lot of good luck there. Good luck in business with the Jupiter in Capricorn. And we also have Saturn in Virgo in the 6th house. So this is like a big time, almost like a learning from experience type of an energy. Anything that doesn't go right for Bitcoin is going to learn from it. You can say that the people in Bitcoin here would be more the ones learning from the experiences, but the work experience, what actually happens, how it pans out professionally is going to snowball, and like we're going to learn even more and be able to make more and more moves. So Pretty good energy there. And there's a helpful nature too there. There's a, the work that Bitcoin does here is going to help people and help people, have healthier families, care for, and again, we're only scratching the surface of what people are going to be able to do and to use and the benefits that we're going to be able to get. I think people don't understand. They're like, oh yeah, it's just this financial thing. And they don't really get it yet that there's this whole like actually helping people sort of side of it, this sort of beneficial for humanity. And in a way, we'll get to it probably here in a little bit, but there's like a spiritual aspect that comes through as well too. So let's see, we have Sun trine Saturn. So some of these Saturn aspects, usually you'd think, oh, it's limiting, it's, it's blockages, difficulties, but this is actually a positive Saturn aspect here. Really, it's a comfortable life. It's, again, more authority positions. And, the drive that trine is good. It, again, makes it look almost too easy here. What else do we have? We have Mercury conjunct Jupiter. So again, you just got to love it. The plans, the goals, the idealism, the optimism. It's very lucky. It's very like think big. Again, not taking small steps, big changes. There's almost like this jack of all trades. Like Bitcoin can do so much. It can help with so much. And it's just, there's this like undefeatable energy. Undefeatable. Mercury conjunct Jupiter. It's destined for greatness. So there's a Mercury sesquiquadrant as Saturn here, natal Saturn. And again, there's this great balance of like the traditional and the new, because you have all of that Aquarius energy, but then you have all of this Capricorn energy. And here with Mercury, I'm looking at the Ethereum notes. How'd they get in there? What did we say? Mercury in Aquarius. The sextiling here with our Saturn energy, again in Virgo in the 6th house, it really is a good balance to the new and the old. And I think that's really good when you're, in this innovative spot and you're trying to have this like, disruption, innovative disruption. It just adds this like fresh energy. There's original ideas. And it's like the smartness and everything comes through there. This aspect, I gotta say, it does have this energy of maybe early in life, things are harder for you. Things are harder, more difficult. Childhoods are common with people who have this aspect in their charts. And it's a little bit of like, again, this innovation. It's so out there. It's so wild. It's so new. It's so hard for people to wrap their heads around that it has a little bit of issues kind of gaining this traction and gaining acceptance at first. Okay. But again, it's like one of the only more negative aspects, and it's only, it should be something that Bitcoin's easily able to overcome, especially with all this other great energy. So Jupiter trine Saturn, the leadership, the stability, again, high success, high places. There's also this like creative enthusiasm that comes in, and this like long-term kind of bullish, good at planning, would be a personification of that. And then we also have Uranus and Pisces in the 12th house. Okay, so this is really, really interesting and gets really deep here, okay? Because you look at the 12th house, what are we doing? Pisces, not only Pisces in the 12th house. This is where the spiritual side comes in. This is where there's this intuitive understanding that is leading the way for change, okay? And it's breaking down some of these old status quos, these old money, financial, the financial status quo obviously is what Bitcoin is here to disrupt. And it's breaking down these old ways of thinking, breaking down this old status quo. And it's a new financial, idea for humanity. And it's, there's this very like unusual, and again, we have like our stability here coming through, even though it's so weird, even though it's so different and innovative and new and like almost like suddenly different. All of the other aspects here, kind of balance it out to where it's able to be so sturdy and in a way stable, even though it's making all of this change, even though it's ending things the authority and the Capricorn energy that makes Bitcoin work, makes it successful. All this 10th house energy, who it is, makes it able to do this, and I think that's just such a great, and again, there's spiritual elements to this, and bringing in change for humanity. We have Neptune and Aquarius in the 11th house. Again, more 11th house energy. So it's got good groups that it pulls in. It's helpful for everyone. It's trying to, social justice and change for everyone. This universal brotherhood type of idea that we have. It's doing good for the greater good for all of us. And so you have this energy, especially at first, where this is how Bitcoin attracts the idealist, spiritual people here. Kind of off the beaten path weirdos, because it's not, because it is so anti-status quo in a way. And so again, you have this great paradox, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, of the old, the new, and kind of integrating the two financially here as well. So Pluto in Capricorn in the 9th house, there is this stable, cautious, disciplined energy from all this 10th house, from all this Capricorn. That helps us. It helps us to, again, stay kind of balanced, even in the midst of being this great innovator, this great disruptor. And again, that's what it has to have. That's what it needs. And this gives it, again, even though it's cautious, even though it's disciplined, it's still got this, resist authority type of energy to it. It's creating on its own. It's learning, and it's leading to a new place, leading to transformation, even though it's like in this balanced way. Okay. Also, we have the Sun sextile Uranus. So that's awesome. That's good. You're going to have good success, good progressive energy. Again, big rebellious energy coming through with the Uranus here. And there's just a smartness there, kind of understanding. And of course, important, positioning, and there's enthusiasm, positivity, and that fairness that comes in, again, kind of making things, making this free banking basically available for everyone. Like how, there's a freedom, and there's an anti-censorship, and there's an corruption type of a vibe here that comes through as well too. Again, a little bit rebellious, breaking up that status quo. It's like so obviously Bitcoin, right? Couple more aspects. We've got Mars conjunct Pluto. So this is this high vitality. This is this very strong, persistent, again, never breaking down. And maybe it can be too much. Maybe it can be, go up too fast and then overdo it, come back down or whatever, I guess, if you're looking at the price aspect. But, whatever it's doing here, and its big moves, its boldness is leading to big change. And again, you kind of this is that innovative disruption, tear stuff down. More sixes, again, this is long-term success. Gotta love it. Okay, so Saturn is opposite Uranus. So there is some friction there. This is your totally epitomization of the status quo on one side and the chaos and the innovation on the other. This is the perfect epitomization of that. Saturn opposite Uranus. And it's like that paradox that we talked about. It's stable, it's traditional, it works so hard, and is going to have these authority positions, but yet it's anti-authority on the other hand. So it just, there's nothing bad here. This is all so good for a crypto. That's why it's the best, is this chart. I mean, it reminds me of those memes, like, if astrology isn't real, then why Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Why is Bitcoin the best? It's all right here in the chart. So we talked about, well, also we have Saturn square Pluto. So again, there's this society is kind of against you at first, and there's some frustration and some blockages and limitations, again, especially in the early life. But yet there's this, like, again, whatever issues that it has is gonna, if it were a person, teach it a lesson, and make it grow and actually be better for more bigger change in the long term, burn it down to start anew type of Pluto energy there. And, again, the success is there. It's right there wrapped up. And so the last thing I want to talk about, one of the most interesting Neptune sextile Pluto. Okay, so this is, guys, this is 1942 energy. This is, the world is totally changing, World War II, so many avenues, so many ideas, so much is affected. This is like the idea of like the East and the West is now, you know, merging and melding, and there's all these new, you know, pathways and networks and all this learning and everything. Like this is big, broad, big effects if you look at this aspect. Global change. You know, that, I mean, think about how many things economically you can look back and say World War II really changed things so many ways. That's how Bitcoin is. That's what it is. This is not a fad. It's right there. You can clearly see there's this merging of two different worlds. It's Bitcoin is, you know, the piece that is this catalyst for huge global change. And I have chills right now. So, and the effects of Bitcoin here in this aspect are going to be felt for generations to come. We will be learning about this in the future. This is, Bitcoin changed everything. And again, right now where we're at in this day and age, we have no idea. We can't even comprehend. Even the most innovative and forward thinking of us, we still can't predict and fathom every little thing, except to know that it's going to be bigger than most people even realize. So I hope you enjoyed this. Much love, many blessings. Thanks for comments, likes, subscribe, all the good stuff. You can also find me social media, KlaireeBerry, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, KlaireeBerry.com. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.